What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be doing a few shots through the chronograph with two of my newer bows. We got the RMS Peak2PEAK riser for 17-inch with some Morrison Max 6 limbs. These are 50 pounds at 26 inches, and I'm drawing them about 28 and a half, so they're probably pulling 55, 56 pounds. This is a fast bow. The next bow we have is the Welch Dakota bow. This is a 40-pound supercurve. He doesn't make too many of these. Rick he's not even making bows anymore, so this is like a one-off bow of his. A really cool design, camo riser. You're not gonna find another bow like this. It has carbon limbs, carbon supercurve limbs, and man, these things are hooked real hard like my Morrison limbs. This is my Morrison, my RMS Peak2PEAK riser right here. This is a really cool ILF riser. It's wood. These Morrison Max 6 limbs are the most hooked supercurve limbs I've ever had. And I don't know if y'all can see this, but look, there's just a really solid hooked limb. I had a little bit of trouble out of these when I first got them, but I figured everything else, figured everything out, and I think they're gonna be a really good, solid shooting bow and super fast. So let's put them both to the chronograph. We're gonna be shooting the Gold Tip Velocity Pro 600 arrow with I believe we're going to be shooting 175 up front on that one, and it's about 375 grains total. And the other arrow we're going to be shooting is a deep impact 500 with 300 grains up front. So we'll be shooting both of those through the chronograph, see what kind of speeds we get out of both of these bows. The two arrows we're shooting is on opposite ends of the spectrum, one super heavy, one super light, so it'll give you an idea of what these two bows can do, and do a speed comparison between both of them. Alright, so to start the testing, we're going to be shooting the Welch Dakota bow. Like I said, this bow is 40 pounds at 28. We'll start off by shooting the Gold Tip Velocity Pro 600. This is a really light arrow, and it'll give us a good speed test with this bow. I'm gonna have to crouch down because my chronograph's low. So with that bow, we got a 189. That's pretty fast for a 40-pound bow. My 40-pound Centaur was getting a 192. And I was overdrawing it. That was just a normal holding to anchor drawing with this bow. Let's shoot one more and see what it does. All right, we're gonna shoot one more with the lightweight arrow. We got a 190 on that one. And let's shoot the heavy arrow now. Like I said, this is a this arrow has 300 grains running up front. It's probably about a 500 and I say a 575, 580 grain arrow. .167 with that heavy arrow. That's pretty fast, so feel pretty good about that bow. Let's see what the Peak2PEAK does now. All right, now we're going to be shooting both of those arrows out of the RMS Peak2PEAK riser. Should be fine with this light arrow. I hope we don't have any problems shooting it, but we'll start out with it. The string was coming back on the groove pretty good, so let's see what it does. .225.9 with that bow. Let's shoot it one more time. Tell you what, we'll go ahead and shoot the we'll go ahead and shoot the heavy arrow and see how it does out of it. .195 feet per second with a freaking 580 grain, 590 grain arrow. This bow smokes them, I'm telling you. This is the fastest bow I've ever had by far. All right, let's take 2 more shots with this bow. Actually pretty surprised by the speed. I didn't think it was gonna be that fast, but it's fast. .224.4. .198.8 on that one. I want to shoot one more time with the lighter arrow close up and see what it can do. All right, we're going to shoot one more time with these 2 arrows and the PEAK2PEAK riser. This is a fast bow. .218 on that one, a little bit off. I think we might have hit one of the posts. .197 on that one. So we're gonna call this, we're gonna shoot one more group with those, but we're gonna call this 198 feet per second with the heavy arrow and 225 feet per second with the light arrow. All right, I'm gonna try to stay in good form on this one. Draw all the way back and pull around. Good. Stay. Try not to let down any, and see what it can do. That was an error on that one. I think I hit the post. .203 with that one. Super fast. All right, last shot with this bow and the lightweight arrow. The reason I'm not even shooting the Dakota bow is because I'm pretty set on the speeds with that, but with this bow, these speeds are really surprising me. .226.1 with the super light arrow and the PEAK2PEAK riser. All right, one more shot with the PEAK2PEAK and the light arrow. I'm gonna try to overdraw this one a little bit. .231.3 overdrawing, well, drawing as much as I can out of it. That's pretty fast. All right, I said I wasn't gonna do it, but let's take a few more shots with the Welch Dakota bow. I'm gonna shoot the lightweight arrow first, and then we'll shoot the heavy. .187 with the lightweight arrow. Think about this now. We're shooting 187 out of this 40-pound bow with the 370 grain arrow, and we're shooting faster out of the PEAK2PEAK with the heavy arrow. We shot a 203 with the 580 grain or 590 grain, whatever it is. I'll weigh it in a minute, but 203 with that heavy arrow. .163 on that one. So this bow is a little slower. Still a quick bow for a 40-pound bow, but it's nowhere near what that PEAK2PEAK is doing. All right, y'all. So overall, I like both of these bows, but you know which one I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna pick this monster of a bow right here. It's not that bad to draw. I'm not sure what the limbs weigh, but I can get it back and hold fine, and I could definitely hunt with it. So it'll shoot a heavy arrow really quick, and I like that out of a hunting bow. The arrow I was wanting to shoot out of this bow is actually this 400 Kinetic Chaos. It's a 400. These arrows are 9.5 grain per inch. And I'm thinking this arrow with a 175 weighs about, I think this thing weighs maybe 475 grains. We'll have to check. I think it's a 475 grain arrow. So we'll get the weights on all three of these arrows on the end of this video, but I just wanted to get one shot with this arrow to see how it flies out of this fast bow. .206 with that arrow. I thought it'd be a little bit quicker than that, but it wasn't too bad. 206. Let's do it again. .202 with that one. So, like I said, I don't know what, that way heavier arrow was flying a little faster for some reason. Just might be the arrow, the way the arrow is, or the way I'm let down on the bow. But I'll take that any day. We're getting arrows, hunting arrows over 200 feet per second, and that's super quick. All right, last shot with the PEAK2PEAK, and I appreciate y'all watching this video. This bow is a little bit stout to draw, but I can handle it, and I think it's going to be a great hunting bow. .198 with that arrow. Kind of surprising. I want to shoot this arrow again. This arrow right here weighs a lot more than this Kinetic Chaos. We got a 201 with that arrow. I'm surprised at that. We're gonna go get both the weights on those arrows, and we'll see what the difference is in the flight speed, and kind of give you an idea of what the different arrows do. All right, y'all. I think y'all can see this. I'm gonna get the weight on the Gold Tip Velocity Pro arrow, or lightest arrow, first. So we got, let's see, 26.0 grams. Let's see. 26 times 15.432. So this is, with this is a 401 grain arrow that we were shooting the 231 feet per second with the PEAK2PEAK riser and the Morrison limbs. 231 feet per second with the 400 grain arrow. So let's get a weight on this arrow. 34.7 times 15.432. That's this is showing, that's the wrong arrow, but this is showing a 535 grains with my Kinetic Chaos arrow. And the last arrow we're going to check is going to be the Deep Impact with 300 grains up front. So 6. So this arrow right here is a 549 grain arrow. I thought it was heavier, but it's not. It's a 549 grain arrow. So they were shooting this arrow, the PEAK2PEAK riser was shooting this arrow 203 feet per second with a 549 grain arrow. .231.1.